It's time to duel!
Hey YouTube, Baby Jace here, and today I want to go over a Unholy guide. Now this might not be the final build that you will end up playing on live, but this is going to be a build that you can like start off with on the first day of patch instead of trying to figure out like what the hell am I going to play. In time it might come out that these are not the right talents to play, and that's going to be okay because I will make an updated video once things kind of settle. I did the same thing with Frost back when Nighthold first opened, and I'm sure it'll be fine. So this is the build that I'm kind of using here. The only things that would really change is maybe instead of Infected Claws you play Shadow Infusion, but for the most part these are pretty fine talents. Maybe Castigator or Clawing Shadows might win out over Unholy Frenzy, but I'm really liking Unholy Frenzy's. I really like it because when you get the free death coils, especially during your Dark Arbiter, the Frenzy's real nice. I like it. I'm using Ibn Fever here because the Plagues are just too good, why not? Dark Arbiter because this is going to be a single target build, and Pestilent Pustules because you really need the resources. With the changes that they made to Death Coil costing 45 and the reduced proc chance of Sudden Doom, resources are a bit more hard to come by, especially since you're going to be losing the old tier. Now let's go over what the new tier does. Each ghoul summoned by Army of the Dead increases your damage dealt by 15% for 3 seconds. Duration extends and does not stack. So that means that every ghoul that you summon increases your this buff that you get for 3 seconds. And this counts all the ghouls from Army and all the ghouls from Apocalypse. This is pretty big. This is actually massive, especially with the 4 set. So does each rune that you spend reduces the cooldown of Army of the Dead by 6 seconds. That means Army of the Dead might be like a 2-minute, 30-second cooldown. Army of the Dead is a very powerful cooldown, and I believe that this tier is going to be very solid. As for Trinkets, I'm going to be using Convergence of Fate because it's Arbiter. Arbiter and Convergence work very well together. You can sometimes get Arbiter down to a 1-minute cooldown, which is very nice. And the other trinket I'm using is the Engine of Eradication. This is going to be from the Maiden fight, Maiden of Vigilance. This trinket is absurd. When it procs, it's actually the most insane thing ever. Because sometimes it procs a lot, and you can get a buff that lasts over a minute. It's happened a lot for me on KJ testing. You just have to be smart with picking up the orbs. It can be a trap to pick them up if you're not like doing damage. I would only pick them up like in between white swings and stuff like that. It takes some getting used to, but I think it'll be fine in time. Well, my Holy Weapon's kind of poopy on here, so you might end up doing more damage if Unholy is your main, simply because you have a higher eye level on your weapon, whatever. The legendaries I'm going to use though is Tactheratrix and Cold Heart. Cold Heart was changed from when it was first revealed to now do Shadow Frost damage, which means that this legendary works for both Unholy and Frost Mastery. Because this change, the Unholy legendary is removed from the game, and this is now a shared DPS legendary for Unholy and Frost, the first one actually. Maybe this might not be good, and maybe you end up running Bracers or the Ring or something, but for now, I like Cold Heart, and I want to give it a shot. Again, this is going to be a single target build, and Cold Heart does 2,000% attack power every 40 seconds single target, which is not bad. Now, I'm going to do a quick, maybe 3-minute boss fight on this dummy. Here are my stats that I'm using here. My haste is a bit low. It's like whatever. I'm on PTR, and I decided to just go full mastery build to see how that works out. You could easily change your stats later on. Also, note that I don't have the Unholy rotation down to like perfect muscle memory. That'll come as I'm able to play it more on live. But I'm going to give you a general rundown on like what it is I'm doing. And some mistakes will be made here and there, but in time, hopefully you won't make mistakes. So the way the shoulders are going to work is with Dark Transformation, you have to use your Dark Transformation after you summon your Army ghouls, after you summon your Apocalypse ghouls, and after you summon the Arbiter. The way it's going to work though with the shoulders and the Chains of Ice is once you summon your APOC, you Chains of Ice, then you Arbiter, then you transform. You do not want to waste a GCD on Chains of Ice when Arbiter is out. You need to have as many death coils going into the dummy as possible. Also note that whenever you have an Arbiter coming off cooldown, you might want to bank one of your Sudden Doom procs for the free Death Coil. This is going to come in practice. I kind of sometimes forget to do that, but I think it's going to be alright. It's just something you gotta really get used to, you know? It'll all come in time. Anyways, let's hope this is a good pull. I'm gonna do a pull timer. I can't pull timer. Okay, we're gonna do a quick pull. Hopefully I don't mess up, because I'm gonna have to do this again. Gonna army here at 7.
5, 4,
just so I have runes up
3,
to like really go in
2,
fast.
1.
Pre-pot. Apply my fake dots. I'm gonna use the Chains of Ice. I'm gonna summon the Valkyrie. I'm gonna transform, and I'm gonna start going. I'm just gonna start pumping as much AP as I can. And thanks to Unholy Frenzy, I'm getting a lot of procs. Sorta. Some pulls are gonna be better than others, you know? It is what it is. Welcome to RNG, Unholy players. And you're going to want to just basically do your standard rotation. Obviously, if you're coming from Frost, it's going to take some time to get used to it. But this is also why I really love this engine trinket. Like, look how many times I just procced. I have like still like 30 seconds remaining on it. Now I'm going to use Chains of Ice here. Get a nice big nuke on him. And then it's just keep going with the rotation, you know? I really like it. I really do. I'm going to save the Dark Transformation for the Arbiter, and this is why I'm saying maybe you will go into Shadow Infusion, so that you don't have to delay it and not use it. It's very important, though, that you do get it with the Arbiter, with the APOC. Okay, so I'm going to hold one of these Shadow Infusion charges, and we're basically going to wait. We're APOCing. We're transforming, we're gonna pot. Oh, I should have used my Chains of Ice here. See? Little mistakes, but in time, that's gonna be something that hopefully you won't make a mistake on, like I just did, basically. You don't want to be using up your runic power as it comes up, because again, it's very important with the Arbiter to get as much value as you can out of it. And I mean, like, this is like a basic, you know, rotation and how the spec works. I mean, it just does so much damage, and I made a massive mistake and wasted a GCD on the Chains of Ice. So I mean, like, when you optimize this and you get used to it, it's going to be so much smoother. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope that you enjoy Unholy if it becomes the best spec. I will see you guys on the next video.